Blake Snell delivered exactly the sort of vintage, game-stealing outing the Dodgers needed Saturday night. 6 shutout innings, sharp command for most of his outing, and a chance for Los Angeles to flip the NL West back into its column. Snell's 62 strikes on 96 pitches steadied a club that has had more late-game drama than it wanted in recent weeks, and the offense did enough early and often to make his night comfortable. A first-inning push, Freddie Freeman doing what Freddie Freeman does with runners in scoring position, and Teoscar Hernandez supplying a solo homer in the 5th to put the result out of reach. When the final out came, the Dodgers were 6-0 winners and owners of a 1-game lead over San Diego in a division that will be decided by inches. This was a classic LA approach, manufacturing runs, getting a lengthening start from a veteran arm, and letting the margin grow when the opponent self-destructs. The Dodgers jumped on Dylan Cease immediately. His command deserted him early. 6 walks in the first 2 innings is a brutal line for a supposed frontline starter. It yielded multiple free base runners and allowed Los Angeles to turn the modest opportunities into a 3-run first. Add in 3 errors for San Diego, and you have a tidy explanation for why the scoreboard was 5-0 before Cease left after 85 pitches. In short, this wasn't just Snell being great. It was the Dodgers capitalizing on opponent mistakes and avoiding the bullpen roulette that has cost them in past games. Snell's outing matters for 2 reasons. First, the Dodgers rotation needed a length-of-game anchor. Clayton Kershaw and Tyler Glasnow are fine pieces on their nights, but Snell giving 6 quality frames stabilizes the club's win expectancy and saves the bullpen for high-leverage spots later in the week. Second, Snell looked like a pitcher who can re-enter the elite conversation when his command is on. He avoided the long ball, limited hard contact, and kept hitters off balance. That's important because Los Angeles cannot afford to waste innings from its starters down the stretch. The depth on the staff will be tested with the grind of September schedules. Offensively, the narrative was efficiency. The Dodgers produced early pressure with a sacrifice fly and an RBI single from Michael Conforto. And Freeman's knack for coming through in messy, pressure-adjacent moments turned a small edge into a multi-run cushion. Teoscar's 20th homer was a reminder that Los Angeles can still score in a variety of ways: small ball manufacturing and the occasional boom. Plate discipline was present. Reaching 6-0 against a team that made mental and mechanical errors was about playing smart, not spectacular baseball. For the Padres, the issues are glaring and fixable, but fixable only if cleanly addressed. Cease's pitch-to-contact profile evaporated as control issues ballooned into free passes, and the defensive miscues compounded the problem. San Diego's rotation depth is usually a strength. Saturday exposed how quickly a starter's off night and fielding lapses can cost a high-leverage series. The bullpen will need to be managed carefully Sunday and in the coming days, and the coaching staff must recenter the team on fundamentals. Attack the strike zone, make routine plays, and stop offering free base runners. Sunday's matchup, Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers against Yu Darvish for the Padres, sets up as a tone setter. Glasnow has electric upside and, when healthy, can make an offense look ordinary. Darvish, similarly, will test Los Angeles' ability to rally off a top-of-the-order arm. For the Dodgers, the objective is straightforward: keep getting length from starters, limit bullpen exposure, and continue to turn opponents' mistakes into runs. For the Padres, it's about cleanup. Fewer walks, fewer errors, cleaner at-bats, and a more disciplined approach to pitching when a starter is tipping or losing his feel. Beyond the box score, this game nudges the NL West into full-on tension. A 1-game lead is nothing in August, but it's psychologically meaningful. Momentum in baseball is as much about confidence as it is about standings. The Dodgers leaving Dodger Stadium with a series win and their top-tier bats and arms showing up is a meaningful swing in a division that will come down to head-to-head moments. The league's second half is a 2-month test of consistency. Los Angeles answered Saturday by checking multiple boxes: starter length, timely offense, and defensive clarity. And those are the same boxes they'll need to check repeatedly if they want to keep the cushion they just stole from San Diego. Milwaukee didn't just win another game. They made franchise history, and they did it the hard way. A 14-game streak is the kind of run that defines a season. And Sunday's 6-5, 11-inning victory over the Reds had everything you expect from a wild card quality club. A late rally, small ball manufacturing, clutch bench hitting, and perhaps most glaringly, an opponent's mistakes that swung the game. Andruw Monasterio's pinch hit, 3-run homer in the 11th is the easy headline. The utility man entered cold off the bench and delivered the big swing that ended it. But the win can't be divorced from how it came together. The Reds' defense opened the door twice. Ellie De La Cruz's ninth-inning throwing error erased what looked like a victory, and a misplay by Jake Fraley in the 10th let Milwaukee add another run. The walk-off sequence in extras also featured a defensive breakdown when reliever Joe LaSorsa impeded a throw on a sacrifice attempt, turning what should have been a routine out into an RBI single. In short, Cincinnati handed the Brewers opportunities they were happy to take. That combination, timely hitting plus opponent miscues, has to be part of the evaluation. Streaks are propelled by both execution and luck. Over 14 games, the Brewers have clearly executed, but they've also benefited from opponents' slip-ups. The key for Milwaukee will be sustaining fundamentals even when the margin for error shrinks. They've now gone unbeaten since July 30th, sit at 78-44, and boast the best record in baseball. That's not a fluke. This run reflects roster depth, bullpen reliability, and the ability to find production from non-stars. Monasterio's heroics are a perfect example. Cincinnati's mistakes are worrying for a club that needs to tighten up if it plans to make noise down the stretch. Errors in high-leverage moments are momentum killers and expose problems in fundamentals and communication. The Reds showed fight. They hit a late homer from Noelvi Marte in the 11th, but untimely miscues cost them a chance to halt the streak. Managerially, Milwaukee will have roster decisions to consider if this keeps up. A long streak usually taxes the bullpen and can force tougher rotation choices. The club must balance the desire to keep winning with the need to rest arms for September. The immediate reward is obvious, the chance to chase an unprecedented 15th straight win in the finale with Jose Quintana on the mound against Andrew Abbott. What to watch next? Can the Brewers maintain focus when the margin for opponent error tightens? Will the Reds clean up the fundamentals and avoid gifting extras? And crucially, how will Milwaukee manage its pitching staff as the calendar turns toward September? If they can keep executing and limit reliance on opponents' mistakes, this streak could be more than a hot run. It could be the defining stretch that secures home field advantages come October. Blake Snell delivered exactly the sort of vintage, game-stealing outing the Dodgers needed Saturday night. 6 shutout innings, sharp command for most of his outing, and a chance for Los Angeles to flip the NL West back into its column. Snell's 62 strikes on 96 pitches steadied a club that has had more late-game drama than it wanted in recent weeks, and the offense did enough early and often to make his night comfortable. A first-inning push, Freddie Freeman doing what Freddie Freeman does with runners in scoring